folks. Here we are.
Hi, everybody.
9 Mile Swamp.
Welcome to the swamp. Cheryl's getting us onto some other pages.
She's joining us tonight.
Our faithful dog.
And I had success.
Okay, we're ready.
Hey, Michael and Newton are here. Blaze is here.
Hi, Michael.
Mom
Hi,
is
Newton.
Here.
Hi, Mom.
Everybody. Gary's here. Hi,
Boy,
Gary.
have we got a night for you tonight.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start out with with the hammer and the cross, which is a ghost story from the 9th century. The story of the song, I'll tell you the story real quickly, is it's a long story too, is I wrote this song, I started writing the song in the car, and I felt this overwhelming compulsion to write, and so I took out the manual from the Toyota Prius we had at the time, and I started writing symbols in it, runic symbols in it, and then after that I put the symbols in order and then made a story from them, and this is the story that I wrote. And we were on our way to the Crossgates Mall to go shopping for my daughter for college, and so I wrote the first draft of the song while we were shopping on the back of everything we could get my hands on. When we ate lunch, we had a paper placemats, and I wrote on that and everything, and then for 2 days afterwards I revised it, and the reason why that's important to me is because it's nice to know that people who are shopping at the mall are thinking about something except for what they're going to save on the next thing they don't need. But I surely needed to write that song, that's for sure. The Hammer and the Cross. Like the trouble of stealing a lost friend, will a song about promises kept ever ring through a hall? Now the oath breaker's song, it's a curse down the years, it's the only and the blackened stones of our breached walls were all that remained. A cloud conquered the sun, all our shadows stolen away. Now our ashes rise with the wind. The brambles grew wild on the old trodden way, while the horn blast sounds down the days. Will a cold rain never end, like the trust in a lost friend? Will a song about promises kept ever ring through a hall? Now the oath breakers song, it's a curse down the years. It's the only song I know. Storm tumbled the pines, drove the oak leaves astray, when the long ships beached by the bay. The Hammer and the Cross.
Yeah, and hey, Joe, great show today.
Yeah.
You guys should all listen to Joe Giglio on Sundays at 2
Yes,
o'clock.
indeed.
He has a live Facebook show that he does, and fantastic playing. Really, really great choice of songs.
And also great jazz renditions of songs that you know, even if you're not a jazz aficionado. Joe covers a lot of jazz standards, but he also does songs like, you know, Blowing in the Wind, other Dylan songs. He does some songs from the Motown era. So there's just plenty, there's just so much there to like. So
Yes. And Lynn Porter, it's good to see you joining us. And
Hi,
hi,
Lynn.
Wanda.
so this next song is called The Ties That Blind. Are you ready, Gar?
I believe so.
Look at that hot red harmonica.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sung through the morning fire is our true love speaking. We're gonna be alright. By the In the water I see reflections of our madness. Our canvas is tattered, still we prevail. On our way, sailing today, this is our measure. On our way, sailing, we carry this treasure. This is our measure. Leave behind ties that bind. Harbors lie waiting, I can almost see the faces. What we have lost, we still can find. It can't be much longer. We search the horizon. I see the longing in your eyes. On our way, singing today, this is our measure. On our way, sailing, we carry this treasure. This is our measure. Dawning light, cold hard night, sun through the morning fog is our true love's beacon. We're gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. That was called The Ties That Blind. That's on our album Heart, Mind, and All. By the way, and one of the fun things about that song is, if you hear it on the record, is that David Sanchez is playing piano, and you can hear the guitar and piano trading off licks, and that's thanks to David, because he when he played it, he left all these spaces for me. That was just wonderful. That was a good studio musician. Okay, we've got a song that is very important to me. This is a song I wrote about propaganda in a couple of its forms. We know about propaganda from hideous human beings like Rush Limbaugh and folks like that. But all art is propaganda in a way. It all is giving us a message sometimes, somewhat literal, somewhat subliminal. It's up to us to know, and it's up to us to recognize what's fallacious and what's not fallacious. That's part of what this song is about, and another part of what this song is about is the nature of art, in that art can't help but be mimetic. In other words, it passes down certain patterns that you can recognize. Some of those patterns are good, some of those patterns not so good, and so there's a lot in this song. You kind of have to listen to it a couple of times. And by the way, we do have a homemade version of it up on iTunes, so you can find it if you want to hear it again.
Yes.
So we sing.
And hi,
so
Terry. Thanks for joining us.
Terry Massardo, how are you?
I think I see her name there.
I would have worn my leopard spot shirt if I knew you were ready to come tonight.
And I would have worn my high heels, but I'm happy with her feet on.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. I hear some guy yell from a wall box, a mechanical snarling So we sing. Misogynist shouting for power believes that his blather's sublime, but the word spurting out from electrical towers is losing its war against time. It's the voice of the new man and Moses, the vibration of power and greed. I bow down to turn my guitar amp up louder just to find the release that I need. So we sing. The pieces of music from over the years are the voices of people that ring in our ears. They roll all around us and into our songs. We borrow the beats and we pass them along. They show up in what's right, they show up in what's wrong. It's natural to join in the music and the wonder of playing it through. The rhythm and melody all work together in a pattern that makes it seem true. But we're not bound to notes that are scripted. No authorities tugging a chain. When sound is the message, nothing's encrypted, then we'll all join to sing the refrain. So we sing. There are times when we struggle to play it, when mythology stands in the way, but it's there in the wood of the pipe and the timbrel. We're together whenever we play. It's the thing that we share without thinking, a possession that no one can own. You can say it's just music, or maybe just rhythm, but it's something that's never alone. So we sing. So we sing. Of music from over the years are the voices of people that ring in our ears. They roll all around us and into our songs. We borrow the beats and we pass them along. They show up in what's right, they show up in what's wrong. So we sing. So we sing. New ending.
Nice ending. Lovely surprise
yeah.
endings.
So this is the part of our show when we do some poetry, and this poet hit me like a lash, I guess I would say, and I was surprised that I had never heard of her before. Frances Ellen Watkins Harper was born in 1825 and died in 1910. She was the child of freed slaves in Maryland, and when she was very, very young, she was orphaned and went to live with her uncle, who treated her pretty well. However, it was an expectation of a young black girl like Frances Ellen Watkins Harper to seek employment at 13. I guess that was typical. And so she was very fortunate in that she was hired by a family out of Maryland, and the family owned a bookstore, and Frances had already knew how to read, and had some learning, and she thrived in the bookstore. No doubt about it. Her writing is really excellent. And then she discovered, one of the things she discovered is that she could never return to Maryland to visit family members. It was impossible for her, because if she had returned, she would have been taken for a slave and sold off again. And so that bit about going back to see her uncle and family she still knows completely denied her. Her work is a little shocking. It's graphic. It may make you feel bad, and that's okay, because you're good. It's your empathy speaking. So I guess I'll just get right down to reading it. This is difficult stuff for me to get through. Okay. This poem is called Eliza Harris. Like a fawn from the arrow, startled and wild, a woman swept by us bearing a child. In her eye was the night of a settled despair, and her brow was o'ershaded with anguish and care. She was nearing the river. In reaching the brink, she heeded no danger. She paused not to think, for she is a mother. Her child is a slave. And she'll give him his freedom, or find him a grave. 'Twas a vision to haunt us, that innocent face, so pale in its aspect, so fair in its grace, as the tramp of the horse and the bay of the hound, with the fetters that gall were trailing the ground. She was nerved by despair and strengthened by woe, as she leaped o'er the chasms that yawned from below. Death howled in the tempest and raved in the blast, but she heard not the sound till the danger was past. Oh, how shall I speak of my proud country's shame? Of the stains on her glory, how give them their name? How say that her banner in mockery waves, her star-spangled banner o'er millions of slaves? How say that the lawless may torture and chase a woman whose crime is the hue of her face? How the depths of forest may echo around with the shrieks of despair and the bay of the hound? With her step on the ice, her arm on her child, the danger was fearful, the pathway was wild, but aided by heaven, she gained a free shore where the friends of humanity opened their door. So fragile and lovely, so fearfully pale, like a lily that bends to the breath of the gale. Save the heave of her breast and the sway of her hair, you'd have thought her a statue of fear and despair. In agony, close to her bosom, she pressed the life of her heart, the child of her breast. Oh, love from its tenderness, gathering might, had strengthened her soul for the dangers of flight. But she's free. Yes, free from the land where the slave, from the hand of oppression, must rest in the grave, where the bondage and torture, where scourges and chains have placed on our banner indelible stains. The bloodhounds have missed the scent of her way. The hunter is rifled and foiled of his prey. Fierce jargon and cursing with clanking of chains make sounds of strange discord on liberty's plains. With a rapture of love and fullness of bliss, she placed on his brow a mother's fond kiss. Oh, poverty, danger, and death she can brave, for the child of her love is no longer a slave. This next one is called The Slave Auction. The sale began. Young girls were there, defenseless in their wretchedness, whose stifled sobs of deep despair revealed their anguish and distress. And mothers stood, with streaming eyes and saw their dearest children sold. Unheeded rose their bitter cries while tyrants bartered them for gold. And woman, with her love and truth, for these in sable forms may dwell, gazed on the husband of her youth with anguish none may paint or tell. And men, whose sole crime was their hue, the impress of their maker's hand, and frail and shrinking children too, were gathered in that mournful band. Ye, who have laid your love to rest and wept above their lifeless clay, know not the anguish of that breast whose love are rudely torn away. Ye may not know how desolate our bosoms rudely forced to part, and how a dull and heavy weight will press the life drops from the heart. Once again, we are reading Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. This last one, I guess, is fitting for last poem. It's called Bury Me in a Free Land. Make me a grave, where'er you will, in a lowly plain or a lofty hill. Make it among earth's humblest graves, but not in a land where men are slaves. I could not rest if around my grave I heard the steps of a trembling slave. His shadow above my silent tomb would make it a place of fearful gloom. I could not rest if I heard the tread of a coffle gang to the shambles led, and the mother's shriek of wild despair rise like a curse on the trembling air. I could not sleep if I saw the lash drinking her blood at each fearful gash, and I saw her babes torn from her breast like trembling doves from their parent nest. I'd shudder and start if I heard the bay of bloodhounds seizing their human prey, and I heard the captive plead in vain as they bound afresh his galling chain. If I saw young girls from their mother's arms, bartered and sold for their youthful charms, my eye would flash with a mournful flame, my death-paled cheek grow red with shame. I would sleep, dear friends, where bloated might can rob no man of his dearest right. My rest shall be calm in any grave where none can call his brother a slave. I ask no monument, proud and high, to arrest the gaze of the passers-by. All that my yearning spirit craves is bury me not in the land of slaves. Once again, Frances Allen Watkins Harper. I think that's pretty astounding. Okay, hey, so that brings us into let's sing about the economy and how I'm going to change the economy when I get to be president.
Hear, hear.
Oopsie, I think I'm tangled. This goes right here. So I have to do a little circle dance here to get my cable free. Okay.
All right.
This is called GNP. With just a little time in the sun, so take a minute free from the road. We're caught within it, the one database. And you can feel it controlling the pace. Invested in our trips, our vital interest slips. I feel like slowing down. I feel like slowing down. It's an illusion, that product I need. They're all distractions, those numbers I read. It's a delusion, that business must grow. And my reactions are starting to slow. We're running out of time, our tragedy unwinds. I feel like slowing down. Life can be so simple, spending most of the time. Luxury or leisure, what's your bottom line? Look to your obsession, the shiny thing you hold. There is no possession, everything must go, yeah. It will surely go like this it goes. Sifting hours, my honey and milk. Golden voices call out from the trees. We see the flowers, we're seizing the day. We're making choices to do it this way. It's freedom from the wheel with time enough to feel. Life is slowing down. I feel it's slowing down. So take a minute, watch it unwind. The G&P is just a part of our minds. We're locked within it, the one database. You can feel it controlling the pace. Invested in our chips, our vital interest slips. I feel like slowing down. I feel like slowing down. On a dying planet, must we be diseased? Hooked upon a habit, planting poison seeds. Can we shrink production, expand our leisure time? Stop the cheap seduction, open up our minds, yeah. Educate our minds, open up our minds. You can do it, baby. Educate our minds like this it goes. G&P. All right. This next song is also somehow, I guess I'm doing somewhat political songs tonight. This next song is called My Advice. And I wrote this song during the reign of the previous emperor. And, you know, my advice. It's not about anybody in particular. It's just about sleaziness, I guess. The singer of the song is sleazy. And that's just what it is. It was a sleazy time.
Oh, I don't have mine.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'll lend you my nice you haven't seen Stephen sign in yet, have you?
No, I haven't, but
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and do the song. This is a song that I wanted to play for a friend of mine who does a lot of historical stuff around the
but I think
Catskills.
Les just signed in. Hi, Les.
Hey, Les.
This is
Les Bronstein. Hi, Les.
Do you want me to mention the Stephen Blauweiss's
Sure.
website? He has Stephen Blauweiss is a local historian, I guess we could say. He and his
Yeah.
wife Karen Berlowitz both work together on this media project. They have a website called Hudson Valley History and Art.com, where you can access some of the shows. They do Zoom shows. They've been doing Zoom shows on local history, history in the Catskills, history in Kingston, women's history, black history in this area, and it's all been very interesting. And they have a book coming out too that you can check out. They have a lot of photographs in this book of local Kingston, around Kingston area. Sounds pretty interesting. I can't wait to see the book.
One of the things that made me think of this song, and the reason why I wanted to play it for Stephen, I'm sure I'll get another opportunity to do that, is that he posted a picture on Facebook, I think today, and in it shows logging in the Hudson, and the Hudson River is absolutely invisible underneath the weight of logs. And you can see down from the angle of this photograph, you can see down the Hudson about a mile, and it is a solid mass of logs all jammed
Was it in Glens
together.
Falls where the
It was in
photo
Glens Falls, yeah. And this particular song comes from folk songs of the Catskills, and it's about Irish folk who came. It was probably written by Irish folk who came here in the early 19th century, I'm guessing, and worked in the Catskills and floated logs down the Delaware, and what an unhappy experience that was for them, because the work was really hard, the hours were long, they were lonely, and they really did not like the deep forest, at least as it's expressed in this song. And do we have Shanty Man in here somewhere?
Under that.
Great.
So just keep that out of your way.
Okay. And as you can see, I know the lyrics by heart. Okay, let's see how we do.
Okay.
A Shanty Man's Life. Oh, Shanty Man's life is a wearisome one. He goes some think it free from care. It's the swinging of an axe from morning till night in the forest, wild and free. In the forest, wild and free. Transported I am from the own native land, by the banks of the life is a wearisome one, though some think it free from care. It's the swinging of an axe from morning till night in the forest, wild and free. In the forest, wild and free. In the forest, wild and free. In the forest, wild and drear. Shanty Man.
Yes. Well, hi Judy, I'm glad you found us.
Yeah, that's Judy. If you tuned in late, that was a folk song from the Catskills, Shanty
What did
Man's
you
Life.
say?
And was that right?
Oh, Judy said she was horsing around.
Horsing around. Oh, yeah, right. Well, I'll be a donkey's uncle. I hope you're laughing.
I might get kicked off Facebook for that.
Judith also has a sweet little donkey.
Yeah, and one time she was saying how her donkey wasn't feeling well. I said, "Oh, poor donkey," and then I got a message from Facebook saying that I was violating their whatever their code is or something by saying "poor donkey."
Yeah, and when I called you silly rabbit, like the old battery commercials, I got a warning from Facebook. Meanwhile, I post a picture of Trump with a guillotine, and I don't get kicked off of Facebook. I don't know how it doesn't happen. Okay, we've got a couple of Julia songs, and my Julia songs are derived from the poet Robert Herrick, who had a character named Julia that he liked to write poems about. So I just decided that it was time to revive that and create this abstract personality named Julia. So the first one is called, actually I changed my mind. Let's do, you know why? Because we promised Michael we were going to play that song.
Julia in running shoes?
Yeah, we're going to play that one. We're not going to play Julia, the Angler one.
We're not going to do it. Okay.
We have that last. I see. Oh, we do. Okay. No, let's do Julia left into
Okay.
Julia in running shoes. Okay, that way we get two harmonica songs.
Right.
Okay. So much Julia. I don't know. I don't know where to start.
I'm glad I don't know who she is.
She's not a real person. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Darkest hours behind her. Still, I'm just not buying. I know she's only trying to save the heart that loves her. I'm sorry that I'm not fun to drink up. I'll buy the next one. A toast to all your family, your kids. They've grown so always said she didn't want a family. I could not believe her. I said I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't put you through this. I try, but I can't please her. up so fast I start to shiver. My arrows landing clear in my quiver. One, two, three, four, five. Catch a fish in line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look out, here I come. You're counting on me. I've got your number. Acting like you're free. Both of us runners. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure playing for you tonight. It's a pleasure having you in the 9 Mile Swamp. And we're going to see you next Sunday, and probably a lot of Sundays after that. So thank you so much for being here, and stop and see us again.
And by the way, when we play as a band, Albie Growth has a great bass part on that last song.
Yeah.
So you have to hear that. Get the record. Listen to it on the record.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us. As always, we're grateful that you could come, and thank you for dropping us a line so we know you're there. We're happy to take a look at those messages later and respond. Enjoy the week coming up. Stay safe and well. And please make sure you are vaccinated. Thank you, Poosh, for joining the show. Poosh, the parakeet.